And how in control did you feel during research?
So I was reasonably in control, but just again with the sluggish thing when I was pressing different buttons, maybe it wasn't as responsive. Changing in between each one.
And could you describe the experience of switching between the maps?
Yeah, that seemed reasonably quick.
And one more question: how in control did you feel doing research? From 1 to 5, 5 being very in control.
4/5. I did feel quite in control.
How would you rate the ease of finding the information required on a scale of 1 to 5? 5 being very easy and 1 being difficult.
Well, since I sort of understood the system, it was very easy.
So you score out of 5, how would you score?
5, I say 4.
Yeah, please rate from 1 to 5 how important you found these features to be. 5 being very important, 1 being not important. Being able to compare maps from different eras.
1. Is what are you going to do with the Victorian? What are you going to do with the Roman?
Being able to find local shops, amenities or attractions.
5.
The ability to zoom into the map.
5.
And a search box.
That's 5.
If you had the finished version, I imagine you'd have a lot more.
Yeah.
And maybe if you clicked on attractions, instead of, because I know, well, if you're looking for hotels or food or something, maybe instead of having them sort of pointing to it, maybe you could have a little dot that if you scrolled over it or clicked on it, it would come up like that.
Yeah.
Because there would be a lot more, obviously. If you wanted this in the town centre, say, and you wanted someone to be able to try and find somewhere to eat, or maybe have a search option, or some way of finding.
The score from 1 to 5. Firstly, the ability to look at different historical maps. How would you rate that? And score 1 to 5.
On this,
how important would you say that feature is?
I'll actually just have a look. So it's actually quite interesting to use it. It'd be useful, especially for someone if they're doing a study on the city, because they can see how the place has developed over the last hundreds of years.
So how useful would you personally find that feature?
Probably about 5 actually.
Firstly, the ability to compare different maps, different historical maps. How useful would you find that?
Well, it was not entirely useful, but it was quite enjoyable. It was not something, well, I imagine this is some kind of tourist aid, but you wouldn't normally leap out. You'd think that you would need to be able to reference where you are in historical context, but it comes across quite well, and it's actually a lot of fun.
So personally, how would you rate that out of 5? As a feature, for how important it is?
Not so important, but when it's here, it works very well. So maybe a 4.
4, okay.
A scale of 1 to 5, 5 being most important, how would you rate these features? Being able to compare maps from different eras. That's a useful feature or not for you personally?
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, I'd give it 4.
Being able to find local shops, amenities and attractions.
Very useful, gives that 5.
And the ability to zoom into the map.
Yeah, 5.
And if there was a search box, how would you find that place?
Yeah, that'd be good. 5.
And there's one more question. How in control did you feel during research? From 1 to 5, 5 being very in control.
The problem is I wasn't that familiar with what was going on. I'd say 3.
That's it, thank you very much.
Yeah.
And if there was a search box, would that be useful for you?
I think it would, but it's quite straightforward how it works. So
How useful would you find it maybe if it was the
3.
3?
And how in control did you feel during research between 1 and 5?
4.